Jerome Shaw.
What's going on, family?
What's going on, family?
What's
How you
happening,
doing?
brother? Oh, been good, been great, man. It's been great in the neighborhood. What's happening, brother minister?
Oh man, things is going amazing. Things is going great. Life is lifing. Um, I'm just here. I'm just here. I know we talk every day via chess and via the ethers,
Mhm.
but it's been a little minute since I chatted with you.
You
And right now I'm just here in the library. I don't know if I told you, I finally got a spot. I finally moved into a spot.
talk to me. Talk to us. What you
Yeah,
mean?
I moved into a spot near DTLA. Um, I know the last time we was together, I was telling you uh, after the Vipassana that I was looking for a spot for so long, and
Mhm.
yeah, and we finally got it. Boom! Now I'm
Nice,
in the library.
congratulations.
Look. Now I'm educated. Look, now I got the books right behind.
Now I'm educated.
Now I got the books right behind me. I got the iPhone stand. I'm too legit to quit.
Oh my
And
God.
so, hold on, headphones in. Oh, boom, can you hear me loud and
Yeah,
clear?
yeah. You reminded me of what's his name? Ty Lopez. You ever remember Ty Lopez?
Ty Lopez. Why did that name sound familiar?
He's the guy. Ty Lopez is the guy who would be like, he would do them videos on YouTube. You would see this pop up or this advertisement be like, "Here's my Lamborghini,"
Mm-hmm.
right? Here's my
Mm-hmm.
Lamborghini guy, and then he would show you all the books on the wall in his garage. So he'd be like, "Here in my garage, video
Oh,
guy." You'd be like, "Here in
okay.
my garage.
I
Here's my
do remember
Lamborghini."
him. Oh yeah, he would talk about. I do remember him. I do
Mhm.
remember Ty
Yeah, yeah,
Lopez. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So he'd always have the books on the wall. There'd be the books behind him all the time, and then the Lamborghini would be right beside him.
You like hearing my Lamborghini? Oh man, how are things going your way, family?
Man, things are growing. Things are flowing. We know where we're going.
Right.
We
T-
going.
um, in the comments, King Love Solar said, Jerome, I'd like to speak with you as well, King. Keep pushing this love. You're gonna hear a whole lot of that, Jerome. It's gonna be a whole lot of Jeromes. I want to speak with you because that boy Jerome, man, you own one. And I'm so glad that we got this chance to talk. And I just want to ask you, because usually we always talk, but like 70 to 75% of the time is you like, hey, let's go live. And the other 25 is like, okay, me, let's go live. And this is my 25% where I'm like, Jerome, we got to speak. I just want to ask you before we even get into it, do you have an idea why I asked you to go on live?
No, not really.
Okay. Okay. Just wonder. the only reason I, the only reason I asked is because personally, like, I just wanted to see if you would guess or anything. My intuition been going crazy, right? And so I wanted to go on live with you because I wanted to speak on something that necessarily I'm not going through now,
Hmm.
but when I was going through it, you made a video on it, and I knew you was going through sort of the same situation because I just felt it. Like when I would see your video, I just felt it, right? And so you made a video about succubus, incubus. You
Hmm.
made a video about keeping the lid on your energy. You made a video about like having to grow through um like circle back to certain experiences when it comes to retaining the life force energy and having experiences in your dreams with like these entities where you felt like like your energy was draining, where you almost had a dream where you had a dream where you almost released and stuff, and and basically you were just talking about like you were just talking about that subject.
Yeah.
And at that time period, I was literally going through the same
Hmm.
thing. And I thought it was so powerful because, like, I had just done a semen retention, an SR journey, and made it like, I think like 107, 100, like 9, or somewhere around like low 110 low 100s, somewhere around there. But then I came back to LA. Springtime energy came, things got frisky, whatever. We had to reset. And I was just like, and it was just so funny to me because the moment and the day where I was like, oh man, it's time to reset or whatever. I like seen a video that you was posting. It wasn't, and you was like, you know what? You was like saying the same thing. And then like a couple of days later, you were like, talking about the sexual energy, and I just was like, oh, we're going through the same thing. So I just wanted to talk about that and a little bit about your experience.
And what specifically like about my experience, because man, it's been a long journey,
right?
It's been a long journey.
Specifically this time frame, because after like this past couple weeks or months or whatever, like from like February to now, this time frame of energy, like how has it been for you? Because after I seen your video, right? Because before I thought, like when I was going through mine, right, and I was allowing and I was releasing again and I was allowing, it felt like it wasn't just me lacking discipline. It felt like it was something on me. You know what I mean? It felt like it was something, like I could feel it, like I could feel it. And so that's why I felt like, oh, maybe there's just like this energy just present in the ethers right now. And me and you are Scorpios, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, maybe we're like getting some of this. And then you made the videos about the succubuses and the incubuses and stuff. And so I was just thinking about like this past, like that around this time frame when you were making this video specifically, I just wanted to ask, like, did you feel like something was on you, or did you feel like it was like springtime energy, or do you feel like this energy was just just happened because you just slipped up? And so I just wanted to talk about that, because to me it felt like there was something on me, like an energy just present, lingering, maybe not like stuck like a leech, but at least in the field of my aura, just lingering.
Right. That's what it was. It definitely felt like something had attached itself, you know, somehow, some way. I don't know how it happened, because I knew the difference between, you know, back when I was really indulging, you know, when I was indulgence, like years ago, when I had no control over the sexual energy, when I didn't even know about sexual energy, when I was just kind of like, you know, just mindlessly, just frivolously giving it away, you know, just giving it away, just with no regard, you know. I definitely felt there were times where it felt like there was a presence, you know, almost like in the corner of a room, if you can imagine, like a shadowy, almost demonic, shadowy presence that just was in the corner of the room, and it was just watching me, you know. And that felt like when I was really deep down, like when I was really in a low frequency. This was different, you know. This felt like something had just kind of found me, and, you know, it might not have even known what it was doing. It was just kind of accomplishing its objective, you know. It's achieving its directive of getting the sexual energy, you know. Like to it might even be like, it might even be a game, you know, to come and claim that energy. It's just a game, you know. But it's in my mind, so I'm like in the astral realm, and so I'm having things happening in my astral realm that I'm not used to happening in my astral realm. So I started asking myself, wait, what's going on? You know, it's not usually like this. And when I started to catch it, that's when I started to, you know, prevent that from happening. But it was a lot different than it used to be, most definitely. And thank goodness that you are aware now, you know, that you can be aware to what is there, because a lot of the times I was just so unaware, I didn't even know, you know. So
yeah, man, because it's literally like synonymous to what you were saying, because it was the same with me. Like after a while, I was like, okay, you know, I slipped up and I was just like, okay, this is cool, whatever, we reset. But then, like you said, it was like a energy was just present, and it was almost like if I if 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 I allow myself to indulge, I was just gonna keep going spiraling down.
Yes.
It was like if I fed it, it was gonna grow at a tremendous rate. It felt like that, like almost like mold, like it could spread quick, but it's there.
Yeah.
And there was just a point in time, and it was just so funny because your video was just hitting everything on the head. It was, it was crazy because I had made a video talking about it, and then I felt subconscious about the video, self-conscious about the video, and I put the video on the back burner before even releasing it, or I still didn't release it, but then I seen your video and I was like, okay. I felt like more secure because I'm like, okay, I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? It's not me, because I was just like, yo, am I tripping? What's going on?
No,
in the video.
You're not tripping. You're not tripping.
For real. And so I just thought it was a good time to go live, because I thought if I'm experiencing it, if you're experiencing it, then there's probably other brothers and sisters out here that's experiencing the same energy. It's springtime, so that type of the creative sexual energy is definitely already present. The animals are in mating season. Humans are always American humans, at least, are always low-key in mating season, but this energy is present. So I just wanted to talk about it, and like the importance of like being aware of the sexual energy and ways that help you get back on your journey, right? Because there's a lot of people like me and you that probably watch me and you that are on their journey. And so what did you find in this experience help you like kind of either like tunnel vision away from this energy, or help you like shake your shoulders off of this energy in the aura? Like, what did you do that helps you like regain balance if you felt like you were like a little off, just a little bit, or felt that in there?
Okay, a couple of things that I would do to regain balance. One of them was cutting off my consumption earlier in the day. So in order to not have anything weighing on me, or to have me feeling like I needed to, to even like, because a lot of times when I would drink late in the evening, when I would drink something late at night, I kept getting up and going to use the restroom, and if I didn't, oh snap, interesting.
Oh, we got a little, you got a, is that a wasp?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
You usually don't see them in here. So whenever I would drink late in the evening, I would feel like I needed to keep getting up and using the restroom late at night. So when I cut that, then it was less likely that I would have a release when I didn't have any pressure, I think, in my lower regions, when there was no pressure there. So I would just cut. So I would have, my last thing would be at 5, or my last thing, my last drink would be at 5 o'clock. And then, that would, let me let this thing out. Let me find something.
Let him out. He wanted to talk about it. That's how the energy been. It's like a wasp, just like right there. You like, bro, I'm existing, but you existing, but it's
trying to get up. Almost out. Well, he'll find his way.
He'll find his way.
We all gotta find our way.
So you were saying that you found that the less you consumed at closer to your sleep.
Right. So when you're consuming something late in the evening, especially when the sun has already gone down, the body isn't really supposed to be digesting when it's trying to be resting. When the body's trying to rest, and then we force it to digest while it's trying to rest, sometimes we have a tendency to lose the things that we invest. Okay. So
you getting good, Jerome. You getting good. I've been watching your videos. You getting good at your delivery. You're getting great, amazing. I've been watching. I'm like, oh, he's going in. He's always on the cipher. He's going in with the wisdom.
Hey, from one to another, you already know, my brother.
Yes.
So, I learned that there was a lot more that I could invest when I allowed myself to rest. and not have to digest. So that was something that I tapered back, and I saw a significant, not only a significant decrease in, you know, the tendency to have one of those occurrences, but there was also an increase in the lucidity of my dream, in the dream, and being able to just be like, oh my gosh, like I felt like I was in a whole nother world, you know, like if you've ever seen that the newest Avatar, the James Cameron movie, was like 4K high definition. That thing was crazy, right? That's how your dreams be, you know? When you're not like in that digestion mode and you're completely able to just go into that REM sleep, you know, the rapid eye movement, your dreams are so vivid. So that was one of them. Another one is here on Instagram, not only out in the world, but just on social media in general. You know, no one is above temptation, right?
Yeah.
No one is above, and social media loves to remind you how you are not above. You know?
Talk about it.
For the love, you know, like no one is above temptation. So, you know, realizing that, I started to understand, okay, I'm going to use this technology, but I'm not going to be used by this technology. Okay. So it's like, know that there's, you know, a directive and objective to reshape our perspective, but within the collective, you know, I'm going to make sure that I put, you know, almost like you customize it to your own specifications. Right? So you're like, okay, the algorithm is going to make me see a lot more if I click on, you know, something. That's almost like you writing a check mark. Like, yes, I want to see, yes, I want to see that. Yes, this is what I want. Every time you click on a reel, your algorithm, that's how you feel. You know?
Bars. You right. You know what? I've been having to reset. You know what? It's so crazy you say that, the social media and the temptation, because I'm like, Twitter is a danger zone. I'm about to put a child lock on my Twitter. I'm about to put a child lock. I can't even get on Twitter no more. I'm like, okay, especially during this time period. I go on there to get some laughs and he's and ha-has, and it's just a whole bunch of hoopla on there. I'm like, what has Twitter turned to? And then the algorithm is like you said, don't click nothing. Because then now the whole timeline, like you said, you click one reel, that's how you feel. And so you had to regulate the social media, basically. You had to make sure that it was basically like you're blocking what you need, what you don't want, and you're not putting any energy into anything you don't want to see, and you're only clicking like the things you do want to see.
Exactly. Because you don't want the things you click on to swerve you or to curve you, you know, or even to disturb you, right? But you want to serve you. You know, you want what you serve you in a way that's in a higher, you know, So I like with the Trap Chi, you blend both worlds. I love what you Trap Chi because you blend the lower and the higher, you know. So while we're using this social media, we understand that we can go to the low, you know, but we understand why we might want to go high, you know. So with that, we're like, okay, if I got to be it until I see it. So I was like, okay, let me click only on the things that are motivating me, that are inspiring me, that are enlightening me, that are empowering me, that are encouraging me, that are enthusing me, letting me know that I can be my highest version. Instead of something that tempt me and that's going to prevent me and that's going to preempt me from being that highest version.
Yes. You speaking to my soul. Okay.
So that was one of the ones I did. And, you know, I have other little methods, kind of like grayscale is another method that I do.
You taught me that. You taught me that. I still got the grayscale on my phone.
Those things make it easy. They make it a lot easier, you know, easier.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that to me and to the people, because that is such a thing. And I don't know how many times I've like slipped up just based off of, like you said, being swerved by a post. You know what I mean? And like, and I bring up Twitter because it's so raw and reckless with it. Just with anything, it's just like I found that my Twitter feed started to be like, I almost deleted it because the only reason I started going back on is because I don't go on Twitter. And I'm like, let's advertise everything we do on Twitter, on every social media. And Twitter caught me slipping a couple times because I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? By the time you scrolling and you see it, you already done seen it. And I'm like, okay, now it's like you see it, but also that thing that's in your energy field floating around see it too. And now it's like, oh, it's like that's some is dinner ready? Like I smell that's a meal. It's like I smell something cooking up, something heating up around here. And so yeah, and so it was like I had to start doing that with my Twitter and my Instagram because like, you know, I meet a lot of people and I meet a lot of and no disrespect to the goddesses and no disrespect to the queens, like I'm glad like you feel safe, free, and liberated. But sometimes even my friends that are queens, I had to like mute some of their posts because it's like, you know, I'm glad you're sexually liberated, but it's like right now I gotta stay focused. What Dr. Umar Johnson say? He said, we must stay focused, my brothers. He said, we must stay focused. And it was so funny because there was actually this Umar clip where he was like, he was talking about he was somewhere, like maybe a beach or maybe just somewhere in like some function. And he's like, and then this beautiful brown chocolate sister looking all types of good gonna come over. And he's basically saying like this woman came into the event who was just like beautiful brown chocolate thick, and he's like that's when I looked up and I know, oh, I told her, what he said? He said, I told her, sweetheart, I am a revolutionary. You must be the devil trying to tempt me. You got not like you must be the devil, but he's like, the devil must be trying to tempt me to stray off my path. I am a revolutionary, sister. You got to go get some clothes on. And he wasn't saying like, he wasn't literally telling her to go get, he's just saying like, you look so good, like I gotta focus, you know what I mean? And I just thought it was so funny because it was in, you know, how he talks, but it's so real because it's like you be on your journey and then you're like, whoa. And it's just like regulating that timeline and really zooming in what you want to, hold on. Can you hear me? You can hear me, Jerome? Okay, good. Just making sure. But yeah, it's just like regulating that timeline on your phone and regulating it in real life. Because once you start regulating it in general, you'll notice, I say it's like looking through other chakras, right? You can look through your red chakras, which is your root. You can have some red lens on. You know how they got them glasses with the colors? You can have your red lens on, your root chakra lenses. You can have your green lenses, your heart chakra lenses, your purple third eye lenses. It's just about what you choose to look at life for. And it's like choosing to not look at life through the red or orange or yellow, the bottom three. It's like choosing to look at life either through like that heart chakra, so where you're looking at everything in a more heart-based thing, because it's nothing wrong with looking at it through other chakras, but when you become a habit, and like a lot of us have been trained to look at life through our root chakra glasses, you know what I mean? We're like you said, we're consuming, we're either hunger or it's like something sexual, or it's like something like survival. Like those are the popular things on the internet, like fights or like sexual things or like thing. But it's like choosing to look through that heart chakra lens to where you said, is it inspiring me? Is it motivating me? Is it teaching me something? You know what I mean? Is this am I utilizing this as a tool, or is it utilizing me? You know what I mean? And so I felt like it's just choosing to look at life through those higher lenses, through those higher chakras. You know what I mean? That's what helps me a lot. I like to imagine when I feel like I'm in those primal modes. What helps me is I like to imagine myself like existing in my root, then elevating up to whichever chakra I need. Like I literally like to visualize that, and that helps me, and I can literally feel like the change of perception. And that's one of the things that helps me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great point, Sunrise. You know, it's a great point that you illustrate there, because it reminds me, one of my mentors told me there was a story about a gentleman. There was a man who was about to sue the company, you know, Target, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So for those of you who don't know Target, you know, like the different department stores, kind of like Walmart or, you know, your other stores and stuff like that. Well, Target is one of those kind of upper stores that sell stuff. He was about to sue the company of Target because he said that the company kept sending them stuff that was trying to persuade his 16-year-old daughter to want to get pregnant. So he was about to sue Target. But what he didn't realize, what the father didn't realize, was that the company was sending him that stuff because his daughter was going to Target looking for baby stuff. She was already pregnant. He didn't know it. He didn't know it, right?
Yeah.
So it was, what happened was, it wasn't that the company was sending her that stuff. The computer actually looked, the algorithm, you know, it actually looked at her habits. And so it started advertising and marketing the baby stuff because that's what she was looking for. Right? So that's the same with us, you know, with men and women, everybody. That's the same thing with everybody. That's why the scriptures, it said, seek and ye shall find. But looking for, it's looking for you.
It's looking for you.
It's looking. So just understand that, like, on every level, seek and ye shall find. You'll find more of the things that you're looking for. You know, for better or worse. You know, you're gonna find it. You're gonna find it. You know?
Right. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. And then we're gonna kind of switch gears a little bit. Because yesterday I was watching a video of yours, or 2 days ago I was watching a video of yours that I was like, oh, I want to include this in the convo because this is powerful. This is powerful. You made a video talking about no longer arguing with people recently.
Yeah.
You made a video talking about, y'all, if y'all ain't, go to Jerome's YouTube. What's the title of that video again?
That video, this philosophy will improve all your relationships. Yeah.
This philosophy will improve all of your relationships. Yeah. And just for the people who may not have seen it anymore, it's just basically a video. Well, I want to, can you give us just the gist of that video? Because I kind of already said it, but I want you to say it because you delivered it so beautifully.
Well, thank you. You know, I appreciate you, and just, you know, thank you for always tapping in and just, you know, giving that feedback. You know, I receive because it reminds me of something you told me a while back, Sunrise, when you were like saying there was a period not too long ago in your life where you had to say, you know what, it's all good. You know, family, like, no, I see you. You know, we're good. Like, and you had to separate. You know, because that energy, you no longer wanted to be mingled within that energy, you know? So you had to let people, you forgave people, you forgave others. You said, no, really, no, seriously, you know? You know? And it was like that because it got to that point for me as well, where I had to take a look at myself whenever I was running up against this pattern that kept occurring over and over and over and over again in all of my relationships. And I was asking myself, you know, am I attracting these relationships? Is it something that's attracting to me, or am I attracting to it, or what is going on here? And so when I started meditating, you know, like you said, you know, that meditation is medication, you know, and it became like something that I started to really have that inner conversation to see, what am I doing that is allowing this to continue? Start looking at all the things that are welling up within you, you know, the emotions not expressed, even the things that might be suppressed. And that allowed me to find out that, oh, wow, I definitely have a part in this. I have a part to play because I always want someone to hear my say.
You guys got.
I wanted someone to see things my way.
Yeah. Talk about it.
So this showed me, and not only meditation, but new information. Because when I read this book, Sunrise, it was called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. He's the mentor of Napoleon Hill, who wrote all those books, you know. So
Napoleon Hill, okay.
He knew a little something about dealing with people, right?
Yeah.
He said in this book, there's a chapter about arguing, and he said, there's only one way to win an argument. He said, guess how you win an argument?
How's that?
By not having one.
He said, just step out.
He said, the only way to win an argument is by not having one, you know? And one of my friends told me, I'll never forget, he said, if you argue with a fool, it only proves that there are two.
That's, ooh.
Fool,
if you argue with a fool,
only proves that there are two. So it was like, okay, when I'm arguing, this energy of arguing, you know, the one convinced against their will is of the same opinion still, you know? You still didn't win. You thought that you won. You're like, oh, okay, they get it, right? But no, you know?
That one right there taught me all that one quote just teaches you all the lessons you ever needed. The one convinced against their will is of the same opinion still.
Yes.
Ooh, that's the one that had to park the car. I had to park the car. I was like, ooh, you're right. Because that made me reflect on how many times, because, you know, we can get technical, and I can get technical, and I can hit all the buttons, and I could do all the synopsis and lay out all my points and all of that, and feel like, yep, if this was a lawyer, if this was law school, yep, I didn't won this one. You know what I mean? They got to understand now, but that quote is exactly how it is. You just walk away, energy's bitter, and there's still, nobody's point still got to cross. Now that energy is just present. Now you got to do like some sort of healing on the other end and like talk and come to some other like peaceful conclusion another time. And I just think that it was so important, such an important reminder that you made that video, because just like a day before, I had like, I don't even say I got into the, it was like, it was kind of like, it wasn't even an argument. It was just like, because I wasn't choosing to, you know what I mean, to argue. Like, I was with a friend and they were obviously emotionally upset, right? Emotionally upset. And obviously they were projecting a little bit. And so I'm just like, you know, there was just so many times in that conversation where the old me would have been ready to just chop up every point, teach you this, no, you need to understand this, that, and the third. But it was more so, I didn't do that. And it was just more so of a sense of like, I literally said, like, you know, if we're playing Foursquare, we're not in a separate block. It's not me versus you bouncing the ball, attempting to get you out of your block. Me and you are in the same square, and the issue at hand is in the other square. You know what I mean? It's me and you against the issue, not me versus you. There is no me versus you. You know, like if this is I'm not approaching the conversation with my shield and my sword. The sword and shield is down. And it's like sometimes you come to the conversations and people got their sword and they shield up, or sometimes people got two swords up, and you know what I mean? They ready to attack, and like, so you like just weave, and you trying and you attempting to like make peace, but it's just such a powerful thing that when you choose not to argue, right? When you choose not to have those uncomfortable, not uncomfortable, but those heated, debated, where the ego is in the driver's seat, you become a mirror, right, for people. When you choose not to argue, you become a mirror. And
you even,
when
even said, I think somebody even told you that that silence speaks louder than words. You know,
For
you know.
for real, it does. And so it was just another alignment with, like, I was like, oh, Jerome is speaking on something that I just an experience I just had again, because like I said, me and my friend was talking, and then we got into it. I mean, we didn't even get into it. She was just basically like, I was just basically like, I got the space for you. You could do whatever, but if you want to walk away, you can. If you want to talk and let it out, I got space for you. But it's just like, there's a point where I'm just like, I'm not against you. And when the conversation seems like it's starting to be a me versus you, I just got open space and love for you. You can do whatever you want, and that type of energy, that choice to not be confrontational or not argue, allowed me to be a mirror and allowed her to see herself for when she was projecting or whatever, just to allow her to see, like, okay, this is obviously something I'm going through. And at the end of the conversation, it was just like, this is just obviously something I'm going through, and and it was just like a lot more self accountability. And and even then, it's like, the ego would want to be like, oh, this is me winning because she found out that it was her and it wasn't me. And then even the ego still want to get in a little. The ego still want to get in a little bit and be like, oh, but you see how you did right. And I'm just like, chill, be like, relax, bro. Like we're just holding space, and like, this is what we do. And it was so much better for my soul when we left the conversation, right? It didn't feel like, oh, next time I talk, I gotta be like, oh, yo, my apologies about last time, let's reset. It just felt so much, it felt like the actual understanding happened, right? And that's because I chose not to argue. And so you made that video, it was just so on point. Let's see. What do you, we got a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
What do you do when the problem is something that has destroyed your family for generations, and you know the truth, but the truth may cause more problems? Sheesh, that's deep. You want to go at that first, or you want me to go at that?
The first thing that came to my mind, they talk about how the truth will set you free, and when you know the truth, it's like nature will always take its course. Nature always take its course regardless. It's going to take its course. You don't necessarily have to put yourself in the middle of things for things to take their course naturally. Like they say, nature never hurries, yet everything is accomplished. Like a tree is not in a hurry to be a tree, but you know that the seed has been planted. So eventually, if the conditions are right for the seed, it's going to be what it needs. So that was what came to me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and what's coming to me too is also a quote. I forgot where I heard this. Either my mom or somebody else, but they have this quote that says, "What doesn't come out in the wash comes out in the rinse." So it's like, at the same time, like you said, you could either choose to, be that rinse and make you be the vessel that truth comes out,
right?
Or you don't have to, because it's going to come out regardless. And I found that to be true in my reality. That's why, like, in my philosophy, I just don't lie. I'm just like, there's no point. I'm gonna be upfront. We're going to take responsibility. But when it comes to that, I just think that it's up to you. I mean, sometimes I've been the person on both ends of my family, on both ends of the situation. I've been the person to be like, nah, this is the truth. We need to speak on this. I'm blowing up the spot. And I've also been the person to fall back and be like, let nature take its course, because everything's going to be all right. I see it, but maybe I don't feel the energy of speaking on it. Maybe I don't want to insert myself just because you don't want to be in that energy. But I feel like it's up to you. It's a individual basis, but things will come out.
Yeah.
You're only just, if you feel like you're holding it back, it's only just like putting a comma on it. It's not a period. It's just going to come out a little later. Yeah.
And your life is your message, to embody that truth within you and just living as that example, you know, people
Mm-hmm.
see that example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they see where you live in, they feel the energy you've given, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, it's who was the one that told you, Sunrise, that like you said maybe it was an auntie or a grandma, somebody told you about silence, that it,
Mm.
or that you what you don't say can speak louder. Did somebody tell you something like that?
Somebody did tell me, who did tell me, let me think.
Mm-hmm.
I can't quite remember at the moment, but it was along the lines of, you know, silence speaks louder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like silence sometimes speaks louder than words. And my father sometimes has shown this to be true. Like sometimes when I've like just my experience, you know, when I'm like in my, you know, I'm still like his son type energy, like telling him like, Dad, this is what I did, and like I just remember growing up and like when I've been really emotional and you know, my dad is just like, and he's slow to respond, and my dad's really good at I wouldn't necessarily say he's spiritual, but my dad's really good at not arguing.
Mm.
Because my dad'll be like, especially in this time period, the moment I'm like, or anybody who's like bringing some issue, he'll literally just be like, wait a minute, just
Mm-hmm.
look, and then be like, well, cool, that's okay. You know what I mean? He'll be like, well, okay, cool. If that's what you want, go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and da-da-da-da. And so it's just like I've learned a lot from him how that silence, because I've been on the other end and he's been quiet, and then I'm like, what? You know what I mean? I'm like, what? And now it's making me think about everything I'm saying, and you know.
Now it's making you think, you know,
Yeah,
because when there's
yeah.
like when you're fighting fire with fire, you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's no time for you to think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no one is thinking when fire and swords are clinking. No one is thinking, right? Swords are
Bars.
clinking. No
No
one
one is
is thinking.
thinking.
Okay, so it's like I realized when I was adding more wood to the fire,
Mm-hmm.
building, but the moment I stopped, you know, there was nowhere for the fire to go. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there was no need for the fire to grow because you stopped,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
So just because I know some people are like, well, what does that mean? Like, when
Mm-hmm.
exactly do you stop? So
Right.
for you, when is that moment in the conversation where you feel where you're like, okay, this is my time to just step back
Yeah.
and just allow this person to express? Like for you personally, when is that moment?
When you feel that energy and you know what that energy is, because
Mm-hmm.
you've been in enough relationships, you know, to know like, okay, this is heading down a place it's being combative and not conducive. You know,
Mm.
it's not conducive for the level of like, you know, that we're trying to build together. We're not building together right now. It feels like we're tearing something down, you know?
Mm.
So we're not building. It's not creating a foundation in this conversation.
Mm.
There's no
Mm.
in this conversation. When you feel that lack of communication, then you can take a step back, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you're
Mm-hmm.
like a verbal tai chi, you know? You
Mm.
take a step back, right? And whatever the energy they throw, you know, you don't have to meet that force head on. You can just
Mm-mm.
allow, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
You just
Mm. You're just flowing.
right,
Okay.
right to pass over you, and they'll see like when someone is coming at you and running at you. There's been so many demonstrations I love when I see Aikido martial artists or you know Tai Chi practitioners or even boxers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even boxers that they say in Lao Tzu said in the Tao Te Ching, he said the best fighter is never angry.
Mm.
He,
Mm. No, that's real.
he said this, right? Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching, the best fighter is never angry. So I realized like when I would be sparring with my opponents, and congrats to you, by the way, because you got a match coming up,
I do
right?
got a match coming up. I've been training. I'm training after this. I'm going to boxing training after this.
Let's go, champ. Let's
go, champ.
You know? So when you're in that ring, you know, when you're in that ring with your opponent, and you can feel your opponent, just like within, you know, an altercation or even a conversation, there's a dance going on.
Yes.
There's back and forth with you and the other person. And whenever that back and forth starts to get a little rocky, when you're out of sync, when you're out of rhythm, you know, I would feel somebody's haymaker being thrown before it even left, you know, before he would telegraph his punch, because he was punching with his emotion. Like so much, he was trying to get me so bad, it was, you know, I see it coming a mile away. Right?
Yep.
So I could get out of the way before it landed. But I was angry while he was angry, or if I was riled up while he was riled up, boom, you know, it's right in the face. And they say the one that hurts the most is the one you didn't see coming. Right? The punch that hurts the most is the one you see coming.
Man, there's so many truths in that, and man, thank you for sharing that. That's so true, especially like the best fighters don't get mad part. Like you see that all in the anime. You know, they the coldest character. If they pull up to like some doomsday situation and they're just like, interesting. They're like, oh, it seems like we're gonna have fun today. And they're just chilling. The world is crumbling. The strongest fighters in the universe is right there. And they're just like, oh, wow. You know what Oh, well, man. Well, thank you for getting on here, Jerome.
Thank you.
I had to tap in with you because I was like, wow, the people need to hear this conversation, because me and Jerome are going through it. I know it's other people in the collective going through it, and just to have just to have it out on the table so people know, like, you know, we are still constantly growing through this journey. You know what I mean? And before I get out of here, I just want to say, y'all, make sure y'all go tap in with Jerome, the host of the Open Palm podcast. Tap in with his YouTube, Jerome Shaw. He's dropping videos and gems every day. Just tap in with Jerome. If you don't already tap in with Jerome, this is my brother. We play chess every day. We going every day. We at chess. I don't think people understand what I mean every day. I mean every day. And so it's good now because I'm getting more and more people. I'm doing more and more games every day now. So it's like we iron and sharpen iron. You know what I mean? So I just want to say thank you for coming on here. Thank you for this build. I look forward to the next build. I look forward to your next videos, family. And I just want to keep sending love and light your way over there on the big Texas, over there in Texas. And I'm excited for our, whenever it aligns, our next meetup in the physical. And even though we're always with each other. So I just want to say thank you, family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And good luck in your match, man. Good luck in your fight. You got
Thank you. We're gonna live stream it. I know. And then GIF is there too.
Yeah.
GIF is there. So I'm like, okay. So we got some tribe in there. So we're gonna live stream it. If we don't live stream it, we're gonna at least get some video footage. It's gonna be recorded. So we're gonna throw it up there. I've been training. So
use your gifts.
Use your gifts.
You know?
Right. Well, all right, family. I'll see you next time, and I'll see you on the chessboard.
All right, brother. All right.
Peace.